Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of This Is the Show. Thank you for joining us, as always, for the best damn fucking podcast about crypto that never talks about crypto you're ever going to hear, at least for today, that's for sure. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, because this is the show. As always, we are brought to you by our sponsors, ToTheMoonEvents.io. Be sure to join us December 7th to the 9th on Tybee Island, Georgia, for a weekend of fun and socializing with the best crypto Twitter personalities out there that you'd like to hang out with, because we all know there's a bunch we don't ever want to talk to. You know who they are. And for more information, please check out ToTheMoonEvents.io. We are also brought to you by BitNinja Supply. Get that BitNinja gear. Get on over there and get that This Is the Show gear. And while you're at it, be sure to check out their Tour to Crypto gear as well. That is BitNinja Supply. And last but not least, as always, HODL Fuel. Best damn coffee in crypto. Gonna pep you up and get you out there on the road. Don't forget to check out that HODL Fuel. Sip it, drink it, enjoy it. Right, Yuki?
Yeah, you know what? I said I wasn't, but here I go. Ready? HODL Fuel.
What a team player.
Very nice.
Yeah, the coffee was way too hot to slurp, so I think I burned my mouth.
Esophagus?
Yeah, my whole insides. So we have special guests. We have two special guests on this episode of This Is the Show. We have Blake and Jason, and they are from Tour de Crypto, and this is a really cool thing that these guys are doing. They are traveling across the country and trying to unite cryptocurrency with charity, and this is an amazing thing they have going. And so you guys say hello and tell us, I don't know who wants to talk first, but tell us what you guys are up to and what's going on with Tour de Crypto.
Thanks so much for having us on. Really appreciate it. Jason Berlin is on the line with us, and he has the great pleasure of cycling across the United States to raise money or raise cryptocurrency for charity. And I get to sit at my desk here in Houston, Texas, and take care of everything else while they're on the road. So we're making a go at it here. It's a great team effort, and I really appreciate you guys having us both on. So Jason can tell you about his adventure so far.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear.
Jason, you're the man. You're one of two that is actually pedaling a bicycle across the United States, and you're doing this whole thing for charity and to raise awareness for the charity, and also to raise awareness for the adoption of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. What's it like? Where are you guys starting, and where are you guys ending up, and what is your day-to-day like?
All right. Well, so we are starting from Long Island, New York, and we are going straight across. Well, we're not going straight across the U.S. We decided to take a different route. And again, this is to continue raising the awareness of cryptocurrencies. So we want to make sure we're going through popular cities. So instead of just going across the U.S., we decided to go down south. So from New York, we went to Philly. Then we went down to DC. Then we went to
Charlotte.
Now we are in Atlanta. Then we're going to Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Nevada, then to World CryptoCon in Vegas.
Cool.
And then Huntington Beach, California. I mean, at this point, this is definitely not even a physical challenge anymore. It's definitely more mental.
Yeah.
Miles a day. Our bodies are, we're able to take it, but mentally, I mean, we forget what days are what, the time of day that we're riding at. Again, we get on the bikes, and if we see somebody, that we feel comfortable, I guess, interviewing about cryptos, or if we have a meetup, I mean, that's the only point in time that we have like an actual schedule. Besides that, Jovel and I were just out riding, and we're kind of enjoying like the scenes, the different environments that we're going through.
Who's the your partner on this trip? What was his name?
It's Jovel Velasquez.
Okay. And you cut out when you said the mileage. How many miles a day are you guys doing on average?
Yeah, we're doing about 100 miles a day.
Wow.
Yeah, Yuki
Yeah.
and I were talking about that
Yeah.
before, and I said, I bet they
So when
they have no idea what day it is. You know, I bet they have no clue. Like,
No, we
Yeah,
don't.
it's kind of like trading in the crypto markets in this bear trend. It's just
Little-
an endless
little-
road,
right?
endless depression.
And I bet you're way.
Well, much better view for you guys out there than all of us just sitting here staring at screens all day.
Oh yeah, then getting out in the nature. And now that the fall is happening, I bet it's starting to cool off a little bit. Hopefully, so
Nope, not at all.
no, not yet.
No. It's been above like 85 degrees,
Oh,
sunny
no.
every single day.
So
No.
walk me through a typical day for you guys. You get up. I'm sure you have like a support van or
Yeah.
something that comes with you guys.
Yep. So we do have a team. We have a driver. We have a videographer, and we have like I guess you could say another backup driver.
Mhm.
We're waking up about 5:30 to 6 a.m. every day. We want to make sure that we're up before the sunrise, just to get like a nice cool start for the day. And then we literally just turn on Google Maps and we just get onto the road. I mean, a lot of people are asking us, the different routes that we're taking, but at this point, we just have really been relying on Google Maps to get through it.
Right, that's scary.
And you guys are heavily on social media. Obviously, you've got a Twitter account. You've got a what is that called? What's Instagram?
Yeah.
You've got an Instagram. You guys
I've
are on,
heard of that one.
yeah.
Right.
You guys are on Facebook. So, what's the thing there? How do you guys manage that? You ride for a certain amount of time, and then you have to stop and sort of engage your following in all these different channels.
Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about that because I think since we started the tour, I have lived on crypto Twitter 24/7.
Mhm.
Easy to do.
I am doing everything I possibly can to spread the word about the tour. I post on, my Twitter page, Blake Rizzo 24, and I try to update everyone every day on, where the boys are, what's going on, where the meet and greets are, and try to spread the word. And then Jason and I will talk when they're on breaks, having lunch or in the evening. And, we'll talk about the videos that they've put together. He'll get online at that point and, start tweeting from the Tour de Crypto account. And a lot of times, we'll have certain interviews scheduled for Jason and I and things like that. So we're really trying to juggle it all. I wish I was a little more savvy in that area. I didn't make my first tweet on Twitter until this thing started. So I'm learning as we go.
Well, you're doing great.
How is your meme game?
I have no meme game.
Yeah, it's
not
not
memes
memes yet.
We gotta fix that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you, Blake.
We'll ghostwrite for you for a little while.
I
There you go.
I just really got on Twitter like January, and I've kind of become addicted to it. But anyway, so yeah, this is really awesome what you guys are doing. I've kind of been seeing you guys on crypto Twitter, and just recently, yeah, you guys have come on my radar. You guys have a lot of really cool sponsors and people that are helping you guys out. You guys are going to be at World CryptoCon in Vegas. That's awesome. Would love to.
Yep, and that's gonna be Halloween week.
Yeah,
If that wasn't enough, that's in Vegas. It's gonna be amazing.
it is. It's gonna
So
be fun.
Tamara and I were married in Vegas
Right, a little bit before Halloween.
right
so-
before Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
It wasn't by an Elvis impersonator. It was
Well, happy early anniversary.
yeah,
Thank you.
it was in the drive-through wedding chapel, but we didn't do the drive-through. We actually went inside. We splurged and got
Awesome.
Figured it out.
That was extra.
the upgraded package.
That's right. You get all the photos. And all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah, it's a whole package deal.
He hates them though. He thinks he
the
looks fat.
hats.
So,
Yeah, mugs. I think you guys are thinking about the Hangover movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
I think we have those options. But
yeah.
Well, I want to know, what do you guys eat? Do you like chia? I love chia. So
Chia seeds.
Oh my god, we eat anything that is available. Put it that way. So our home away from home is literally the Walmart parking lots throughout the U.S.
I saw that. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, every night we've been staying in a Walmart parking lot, unless, thankfully, I mean, the local meetups that we've attended so far, we've met a lot of people within the crypto space that have invited us to their homes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we're actually at a house right now in Georgia.
Oh, nice.
And they've got hamburgers, hot dogs.
Yes.
They have a swimming pool that we're just hanging out at. So,
so cool.
Today was a nice, like, relaxing day to give our muscles a little bit of a break.
That's awesome.
I mean, that also goes back to what we were saying before. I mean, so when we say we're riding 100 miles, I think at this point, anybody, if you were to try hard enough, you could do 100 miles. But to do it every single day, that's when it adds up.
Right.
And Jovel and I this morning, we did not ride this morning. So I would say like 3 to 4 hours into the day, our legs literally just like locked. We couldn't even move. So we had to like wobble into the pool to get them like moving again.
Oh my gosh.
Now, let me ask you this. What do you guys think it's going to take as far as the time? Have you guys figured out exactly like how long it's going to take the entire trip? I guess you have to be at least at CryptoCon, right?
Yeah, so I mean, World CryptoCon, all the dates have been set basically around that,
right?
And we're on point. We're on time to hit it perfectly fine.
And then we'll have
sticking to that schedule.
Yeah, they're on schedule, and we will be arriving in Huntington Beach. I think we've pushed that back a couple of days to the November 13th, if that's the Monday. Crypto Wendio is helping us with a finale party. She secured a location.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
They asked us, if we could do it on Monday because Sunday is quite busy with NFL games and whatnot. So we've pushed it to Monday, but yeah, it'll all wrap up in Huntington Beach on November 13th.
I was going to ask you guys what you had planned for the sort of the finale. And yeah, Crypto Wendio is a friend of ours and we love her and all the stuff she's creating in this space. So you guys, it should turn out to be amazing. But so you guys have like a big party planned and a big hoorah. So that's awesome. And with the CryptoCon, the World CryptoCon in Vegas. Now, a lot of the times when folks arrive in Vegas, you know, they've got smoke and, you know, are you guys going to make a big scene when you roll into Vegas? You know how like they fly into the football field with the, you know, the Elvises?
Like parachute out of a plane.
I've got an idea. You guys should put on Elvis costumes and be cycling Elvises.
Yeah, one of the things we were joking about.
Yeah,
we were joking with Travis Wright. They just put out a commercial for World CryptoCon, and they were in Lambos and Ferraris and whatnot. And we were joking with them about how they should escort the riders into Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
I do know that
Lambos will get escorted by Las Vegas PD. I think that could be pretty cool down the strip.
Yeah, I envision like a parade as you guys roll into Vegas. You know what I mean?
We might mention that. Wendio, it will be on Tits tomorrow. So we might mention Wendio. We'll put it in our ear.
Arrange that for these dudes.
Well, I think with the police department, if you give them like a week's in advance, I think that they would help out with something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
When did you decide that skateboarding wasn't for you and sitting was the best way to move around on wheels?
Well, so, I mean, the whole idea about riding my bike across the country or...
just riding bikes in general, you know? When did that become a thing for you in your life?
Well, it was never a thing in my life. The last time I rode a bike was like 10 plus years ago around like the community.
Oh, wow.
That's the last time I rode a bike.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I came up with this idea. I didn't come up with the idea when I was in college about, more than 10 years ago. I was in a fraternity and one of the pledge members was telling us about his bike ride across the United States. And literally everybody in the fraternity, we were all just literally sitting down around this kid,
Yeah.
listening to all the amazing stories and amazing stuff that he's been through.
Right.
But I mean, he did it. I think he took like 3 or 4 months. Like he took like this like camping gear. Like he actually had like a trailer on his bicycle.
Oh, wow.
So when he told me that, I was like, you know, this would have been an amazing thing to do before college or like immediately afterwards, you know? And for me, the main reason why I decided to do this now is because a few months ago, I left a huge project, a huge venture project that was dealing with real estate and like developing an app for real estate agents. And I ended up just leaving the project because the technology that we were building was basically just like a regular iOS and Android app that was basically working off of like regular servers, like just data input. And I started doing some research into cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. And I started to uncover certain patents that were already approved that were kind of doing something similar, but obviously in a more efficient manner. And that's how I actually got involved with cryptos, through like researching patents that have already been approved. So when I left that job, I mean, just think about like quitting a job, you know, you get used to a routine. So I had nothing to do the next day. You know, I sat around, I basically ate food all day. I literally turned into basically a depression. I think it took me about like a couple of weeks to get myself into a gym. I started working out, watching my diet, my nutrition, and started getting back into shape, getting more of a positive mentality. And of course, the months of like February through April, the freaking crypto market that starts going downhill.
Right.
So not only did I just
heard about that.
Not only did I lose not only did I leave, but you know, my investment within cryptos, that's starting to go down. So that's like a double whammy. So I started thinking, okay, here's everybody in crypto space literally talking back and forth to each other, saying, you know, we're waiting for regulations, we're waiting for ETFs, we're waiting for this, we're waiting for that.
Right.
And I just said, you know, shit, if I just get some kind of traction through, you know, raising awareness, you know, at least I'll be taking action. We won't just be waiting for something. So I figured, you know, why not reach out to a nonprofit, see if we could get them to start accepting cryptos. So I started calling up a whole bunch of nonprofits, large, medium, small. And the general consensus between all of them was just no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't even want to, they didn't want to touch it just because of the name crypto.
Right.
They were so conservative in their ways that they just didn't even want to be associated with it. So Blake and I started telling him a little bit about what I want to do, and he's has a good relationship with Hawk in Houston. So he said, "Why not? Like, let's just ask them. I mean, why not?" So we spoke with Chow, who's the CMO, and she was literally like blown away. She's like, "You guys want to do all this stuff for us?" And we're like, "Well, kind of." So
That's awesome.
I mean, yeah, this is what we would like to do. She was like, "Yeah, let's freaking do it." So I was like, okay. So
Right.
that's when we literally just had a like an hour to an hour long phone conversation about how, like, you know, the basic fundamentals about cryptocurrencies. We educated them a little bit about how they would have to download their own wallets, kind of how the whole like donation process would work. And after that meeting, you could just kind of sense like their entrepreneurial like spirit like kick in. They're like, wow, you know, this is something that's actually can be really big. This is something that we should be doing.
Yeah.
And that's just when me and Blake just sat down and said, okay, now let's start planning this out. Let's actually do this now.
So you guys, it's not just about getting charities, funding and stuff for helping with charities. You guys are all about, kind of spreading the word of crypto too. which is
Oh,
cool.
of course. Yeah, that's the main thing behind it. I mean, when you think about a nonprofit as a think about it again like as a business.
Mm-hmm.
Hawk has been around for over 40 years. If you go on to charitynavigator.com, if you look at their score, they have one of the highest scores for accountability
Mhm.
and transparency.
Oh, that's great.
And so when you connect that with cryptocurrencies, I mean, how much better can that get? I mean, that's
Yeah.
literally what
Perfect.
blockchain technology is for.
Yeah. Perfect
But
match.
to get them involved as a company, that's huge. But then the second part is they are now notifying all their previous people that have donated to them.
Mm-hmm.
So not only did we get a huge nonprofit involved, but now we also branched out to reach all their previous donors and
Right.
now all the future donators for that nonprofit. Before also, Blake, I think you got to mention like they weren't like scared at all. I mean, I think that's like the best part. Like Chow is literally like, let's just freaking do this.
Yeah,
I
I
think
love
that's
that.
like the coolest part about it.
Right. It is a good story. When I reached out to Chow, I've known Chow personally. I've been in Houston for 17 years, and so I'm very familiar with Hawk. But about 4 years ago, I got to know Chow personally, and we've become good friends. And when I reached out to her and the organization, they were like a lot of people. They had heard about Bitcoin and they had heard about cryptocurrency, but that was the extent of their knowledge. And so I had a meeting just by myself with Chow, kind of explaining to her what we wanted to do. And she was immediately like, hell yeah, let's do it. That sounds awesome. And she said, I want to set up a meeting with my CEO and CFO. I want you to come talk to them. And I went in there and they were in the same boat. And I think, initially they were overwhelmed with the thought that something like this could actually work. But they were also very excited because they felt like they were on the cutting edge. They felt like this was something that they needed to do. They would need to do it in the future. So why not go ahead and learn about it right now? And I spent about 2 hours with them in the first meeting. Jason was on the phone and, we just walked them through everything we could at that first meeting. And they were just so excited. The CEO, I've never seen her smile so big when I, told her what the goal was.
Mm-hmm.
She's from Austin originally, and I think a lot of people in Austin they like to be known as techie and in the know when it comes to stuff like this. And so she just thought it was an awesome idea and an awesome project. So we got to working with them, and here we are. But as far as Hawk, the entity goes, they are just, as Jason was saying, an incredible organization with extremely high ratings on Charity Navigator. But their mission is to counsel, shelter, and, really rehabilitate all people that are the victims of sexual and domestic abuse. They have a confidential facility that they house over 2,000 people a year in. The facility has its own school. So the children of the women, or if the kids happen to be victims, they can actually get all their schooling in at the facility. And so it's just a really great organization, recognized all around the world. And there have been a lot of people that are very happy that we chose them this year, and we've actually had donations come in from all over the world. We've had a large donation come in from Australia, from the Netherlands, all over Europe. Just it's been really phenomenal to see the people get on board and start backing the tour and Hawk.
So I noticed that it says on your website here that the first tour, is this something, and it says the first annual. So what's the next? Is Hawk going to be the charity every year, or are you guys going to choose new charities to support each year? How does that work?
Well, the plan is to definitely expand and reach out to different organizations, because our goal here is to teach and encourage different charity organizations to accept cryptocurrency. So we will definitely be reaching out to others. But, we've already had people from overseas asking us if we would do an event over there. I think Jason's talked to someone in China, then also over in Europe. I joked with Jason, asking if he was going to ride down the Great Wall.
Mhm.
But yeah, the goal is to reach out and not only do an annual tour, but also maybe do statewide tours or have races and things like that, and to try to really grow this into a big event every year.
Yeah, just to add on to that, I think what's kind of interesting is the dynamics between cryptocurrency communities and cycling communities. You very rarely see one cyclist like out there by themselves.
Right.
It's usually always multiple groups of different cyclists. And again, ironically, there's a huge difference in cycling when you look at European countries versus the United States. In Europe, I mean, cyclists are literally everywhere. Not to say in the United States, I mean, they're here as well, but it's more prevalent in Europe. And cryptocurrencies, the technology and education in Europe is much more, there's much more awareness there than in the United States. So next year, we were approached by a company in the Netherlands to ride throughout Europe. We want to have groups. We want to have cyclists. We want to have more people involved.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So, have you found that as you've been touring here, you've been getting a large welcome at all these cities when you're expected? What do you find the scene to be and the awareness in crypto when you arrive all these locations?
So aside from actual meetups, like blockchain meetups, interviewing random people, the general consensus is that everybody already knows what like Bitcoin is. I mean, everybody kind of has a friend that either invested in it or they've just heard about it. The main issue is really getting to the point where we have to educate them as to what Bitcoin is and what blockchain technology can help with.
Right.
That's going to be the main pivotal point that we have to kind of get across. The blockchain meetups, when we first started, there was like 10, 15 people at the Brooklyn meetup. Then we got to, what was that, Baltimore, I think. That one, it grew a little bit more. And then the last one that we were just at yesterday, that room was packed. That was like 40, 50 people. And when we walked in there, like, whoa, it's the crypto people.
Cool.
We were like, oh, yeah. And the groups, it's starting to get bigger and bigger. It's pretty cool.
That's
I
awesome.
imagine it's going to just keep building momentum as you guys go along and more people hear about you guys. I'm looking at your website, by the way. It's a really cool, easy to navigate website, and I was just looking at the schedule. You guys are in Atlanta now. You guys next are going to be headed to Selma, Alabama. Then Mobile. You guys are down in our neck of the woods. Baton Rouge, Louisiana on the 10th is
gonna be hitting some good food areas.
Yeah, you guys need to stop in
Can't wait for that.
get a roast beef po' boy when you're in Baton Rouge and some jambalaya.
So what's the coolest?
That's my hometown, so I can direct them well.
I love that place. The best food in the country.
That's what I keep hearing. I can't wait to get some food.
Yeah, and I told them I'm going to take care of them when they get here to Houston. We'll have Ronnie Moaz is going to be in town for the Houston meet and greet, and we're going to take them out hopefully to a really nice dinner on Saturday night, the 13th, and then we'll have a meet and greet here in Houston on the 14th. So I'll make sure they get some really good food here.
Awesome. I wanted to ask Jason, what's one of the coolest things he's seen or that they've seen so far?
Yeah, so the coolest thing is probably the scariest thing, and that was I think like now 3 or 4 days ago when we were going through South Carolina. Again, as I said before, we just use Google Maps and we're using the bike route, and sometimes it does take us through like mountain bike like trails.
Right.
So this one road that we were on was just like stone trails. And we're on a road bike, but we can't just turn around because we're gonna lose time. We could get lost. So Jovel and I were going down this hill, and Jovel encountered a copperhead snake.
Oh, I saw
And
that.
the-
Yeah.
Oh, I saw. Yeah, I saw that tweet.
So
yeah.
as we were riding, the snake actually attacked his bike,
Oh
and
my-
unfortunately, he to defend himself, he literally ran over the snake.
Right.
But prior to that, we don't know I don't know anything about snakes, so
Yeah.
we're up close. We're taking photos of it. We were gonna like pick it up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, trying not to we've got to stay alive, survive.
Right.
But it was
Yeah.
only until after we posted that picture on Twitter, people are like, "Wow, you guys are really actually lucky.
Yeah.
That's like the
Mhm.
most poisonous snake."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, when we're done riding, if I see like a nice grass area to hang out in, to lie down,
hmm
I don't do it just because now I'm afraid to get bitten by a snake.
Do you
That's
guys
it, I'm done.
I know. I hate snakes.
do you guys have a a medical guy that travels with y'all in your support
Nope.
van? No. Wow.
We got Laura from the Digibyte team. We had met her in North Carolina,
Mhm.
and she gave us a anti-snake bite medical kit.
hmm
She hooked us up with a medi kit as well. So we've got that on our gear now.
Nice.
I could recommend to you guys a good doctor, Doc Trog. Doc Trogdor, he's an actual medical doctor. So maybe next year you guys can have a medical guy that can ride with you.
You're volunteering Trogdor
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's
as
available.
bad as it sounds, I mean we do have the RV that's following us, but
Mhm.
I mean the trail that we went down. I mean there's just it's reality. There's just no way in hell that anybody would have been able to get us.
Right.
Yeah.
So if Jovel did get bit,
Yeah, it's serious. That's a
Mhm.
serious issue.
that's some scary stuff.
So
yeah.
you guys are literally just out in the wild, spreading the word of crypto, supporting charities,
Putting your lives at risk.
yeah, dodging snakes. You've got the weather to contend with. You've got
Yeah,
have you
it's not even this. I mean, the snakes. I mean, that was the cool part. I mean, the scariest part is really actually being on the freaking road.
Right.
I mean, when everybody drives, you have the little speed bumps to wake you up if you're being dozy while sleeping.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We ride between those bumps
Yeah,
and then the grass, which is only a 1 foot area of margin.
I know.
And we have these huge semi trailers that are flying by
Yeah.
that will go into the other lane to give us some space, but then they forget about the other 30 feet that they're trailing behind them. So when they cut back in, that little part comes literally inches to our shoulders.
Oh my god.
And the other day there's a freaking point where everything just merged perfectly, where we were on a bridge
Oh.
and this huge semi truck passed us. So they broke the wind.
Mm-hmm.
But halfway through the bridge, once they passed us, a gust came out of nowhere and almost
God.
flew off the bridge.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you get paranoid on every bridge you encounter or every truck that goes
Oh, yeah.
by you. So,
So,
yeah.
so you
Stress.
guys are, like I said, putting your lives on the line here for this. So, here we are sitting at our comfy little desks and in our houses and, on Twitter and stuff. And you guys are out on the streets.
spreading
and,
the word.
Yeah.
Supporting.
Yeah, you guys will
charities.
see some videos. Again, we're still compiling some of them. We have the GoPros on our helmets. We have a chest mount. We have the bike mounts. So once we get some of this stuff, once we get some of it up, you'll get a good first person perspective of what we're getting.
Now, are you guys making a documentary as well on this whole
Yeah,
trip?
so we're recording daily. So
Mhm.
we're gonna start uploading actual daily recaps of what we've done, and then at the end, we're gonna just compile everything together and make it kind of nice.
That's awesome. And
Sounds really cool.
And-
Looking forward to that.
where do you guys? How are you guys going to distribute that? Is that something we can find on YouTube, or do we just follow your Twitter account? How do we find the documentary once that thing's up?
Well, I personally have some connections in the media world, so I'm waiting for us to get everything kind of compiled.
hmm
And once we do that, I'm gonna submit this to a couple of big companies. So we'll see who wants to release it.
So maybe we could see it on Netflix or
Yeah,
something.
keep us posted. Definitely.
Maybe.
That's the plan.
That
Yeah,
would be
for sure.
fantastic.
I'm looking at a tweet here that Blake Rizzo did that says that you guys have come across your fair share of scams and scammers.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we have.
I love the laugh.
Yeah. 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 Some of them are good, but we're smarter now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot smarter. But you would be surprised.
Oh
of
yeah.
the companies and the coins that in public will say they want to help and be part of the tour and we support you, and in private they can't even come up with any money whatsoever to get started. It's really sad. You know, when we first started, we decided we had to have a cutoff point. We couldn't just let anybody join for free promotion from the tour.
Right.
And so what we did was we require any community that wants to get involved to donate $1,000 worth of either BTC, Litecoin, or their coin to Hawk to get started. And you would be surprised at the number of coins and communities that just clam up when I say that. And I'm talking, you know, major companies and coins that you would think $1,000 would be, you know, pocket change, you know, to them. And, but yeah, so we've had some eye-opening experiences dealing with some companies. You know, we've had people that have completely tried to scam us by saying that, you know, they were someone they weren't. We thought we had a really big exchange that was going to come on and support us in the very beginning, and then found out that this guy was a total fraud.
Right.
But yeah, it's really crazy to see the amount of people, you know, that want to get behind it, but in public, but once I start talking to them, they go away. And, you know, Hawk, you know, they are an all-inclusive organization. And so they really wanted us to allow the communities to participate. You know, everybody talks about altcoins and shit coins and whatnot. You know, when we were talking to Ronnie about it, Ronnie really wanted us to stick with the big three. And I said, well, I appreciate that, but, you know, Hawk likes the little guy too. And so they want to, you know, they want us to reach out to everyone. And so we really felt like the $1,000 sort of threshold was a, you know, a good measure to at least get that in for Hawk, because really, I mean, you know, we're giving these guys a good bit of publicity in exchange. And so we just wanted to kind of protect ourselves from people just taking advantage of the tour.
Right.
Well, I just want to say I commend what you guys are doing, and it's inspiring, this whole thing that you guys have got going on here. And I think more people should do things like this, and maybe not just talk about supporting crypto and spreading the word. You guys are actually, you guys are actually doing it, and you have a team behind you that knows what they're doing, and you guys are doing amazing things in this space. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for doing this kind of stuff and help spreading the word about cryptocurrency.
So we appreciate you too, because you know, without people like you, it would be much more difficult for us to spread the word. So I really appreciate you having us on to help with the message, because that's what we need.
So I've got a question here about your the donations page on the website. Again, the website, everyone, is Tour de Crypto. You can go to tourdecrypto.com/donate for donations. So you've got two sections for donations. You've got the first one, which outlines all the sponsorship and all that stuff, where it goes. And then you have the Standpoint Research addresses. And what are the actual quick differences on this? I know I could read all through it, but maybe you could just...
Yeah, sure. Ronnie has a very specific goal in mind that he wants to raise from his Standpoint subscribers. And so the reason we have some different Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum addresses under Standpoint Research is mainly so he can keep track of the donations that his subscribers put in.
Okay.
And Ronnie wants to continue raising money for Hawk after the tour is over. So he wants to keep those links active and those addresses active even after the tour. So that's why they're set up.
So like if someone was going to like go ahead and just donate something, the first set of addresses would go directly to the Hawk, right?
Yeah, they all go directly to Hawk, even the Standpoint Researches. We just have just a separate address for Standpoint, just so we can track them. But all of the donations that come in, either through the first set of addresses or through the Standpoint addresses, all go directly to Hawk. They're all controlled 100% by Hawk. The tour doesn't have anything to do with those addresses other than, I help set them up, but we don't get any money from the donations that are made to Hawk.
Okay. All right.
So on that topic, since we're just talking about the donations, as you can see, we have what's called community sponsors. And that's basically what we discussed before, where the community would get listed there after the 1,000 in Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum donation to Hawk. Today, I was actually approached by a community becoming a sponsor, and I told them, again, it's the $1,000 donation. That's not towards us. That's specifically towards Hawk. And then they'll add, they have to download your wallet. We'll start talking about it. We're marketing it. And some of these communities, they have asked me, what is our return on investment for doing this?
Right.
And,
Right.
I mean, they literally, they ask us, what's our ROI? And I'm like, guys, this is, it's a charity.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the next thing that they say is, well, but we didn't have an ICO, or we didn't, our token, we didn't do this, we didn't do that.
Right.
I'm like, exactly. This is what we're trying to prove.
Right.
Just because you guys don't have money, I understand that. Everybody understands what decentralized means. We get that. That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't just say no. I mean, doesn't that now go against decentralization when you just tell us no? Why don't you have to open up to the community? You should be asking them. You should be saying, then you guys will be getting national exposure. And it's not even, again, the biggest part is that, yes, all this stuff is happening now and it's live, but this is also a case study that I personally feel will be used like in history. Other nonprofits, other charities are looking at this right now. They're watching Hawk. They could see all the donations through the blockchain donations, and they could say, okay, should we do this? Should we not do it?
Right.
The more communities that get involved, this just helps the whole process of cryptocurrencies getting mass adopted. So don't tell Blake and I just no. I mean, everybody should be talking to their community. Otherwise, that does go against decentralization. They should be opening it up for like a voting process or something. Every community has their own separate whale group. They all have the ability to do something like this.
If you're listening to this podcast, make sure you go follow at Tour de Crypto. Also, the Houston Area Women's Center is at HAWC Talk. And also give a follow to Blake Rizzo 24. These guys are really doing a lot for us, and we need to support them and spread the word and help these guys do what they're doing, and look forward to seeing some cool stuff in the future from these guys. Possibly a documentary, maybe even on Netflix. We don't know. That's the hope anyway. Looking.
You're a crypto community involved in this case study. I mean, this is an actual research. This is going to be a whole big thing. This isn't something that your community should be missing out on.
Absolutely.
So make sure you guys, get involved with this. Help these guys out. If you have a coin or a project you want to sponsor these guys, go to their webpage, tourdecrypto.com. All the information is there, and support these guys. And go to CryptoCon too. And you can also purchase tickets
Meet us at World CryptoCon.
Heck yeah. I imagine that's going to be a blast. You also can, go on your website and buy tickets to CryptoCon, and part of the ticket goes towards the charity as well. Is that what I think I read that on your website here. Am I speaking?
Yeah, we have a $300 off the ticket.
cool.
And for every ticket that is purchased through our site, World CryptoCon will actually donate $100 to the tour. So it's definitely a great opportunity to save $300, but also support the tour.
Heck yeah. Well, thanks guys for coming on the show here and talking to us about this. And I want to wish you guys luck in your adventures ahead. I know you guys are going to see a lot of things, and hopefully you won't see any more snakes or get blown off any bridges.
Be sure to post those if you have those.
Right.
If
then we'll go viral.
Yes. But good luck down there you're going to the dirty South. You're kind of in the dirty South now, but you're going even further. Yeah. Yep. And
you guys are currently in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Now?
Yes, they're in the dirty.
That's
All
right.
So then you'll be leaving tomorrow night or Tuesday for Selma, Alabama.
Monday night, tomorrow
Monday
night.
night. All right. So next stop, Selma, Alabama, Mobile, Baton Rouge, Houston, Austin, El Paso, Phoenix, and then Las Vegas.
Nice.
Yes.
And then
You make it
That's
sound so
right.
easy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just
like
swing
that.
on,
Yeah.
swing on by.
No problem.
Yeah.
And then the
So,
big. Go ahead.
Sorry, guys. So quick question. Where can I get the link for the tickets for the CryptoCon through you guys? What page is that on there?
It's on the front page, the home page of our
Makes
website.
sense.
Mhm.
That
You just
makes
scroll
sense.
down a little, and we have a section there with a video and whatnot.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah, and you can also support the tour by purchasing from Bit Ninja Supply. 100% of the profits from any merchandise you purchase will go to Hawk, and also by buying Huddle Fuel.
Yeah.
A portion of the proceeds
heard
from
of
them
both
are
of
going to
those.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Both of those companies.
Yeah,
Huh?
Look at
right.
those guys.
Look at that.
That's hilarious.
They're great
Excellent.
people.
We love them.
yes.
And so is there an ability for anyone to donate directly to you guys, for your efforts, for what you're doing right now?
Absolutely, and we would love it and encourage it. This is a grassroots campaign. This is Jason and I and the team. We're basically fronting all the expenses for this. So yes, if anyone would like to help us with expenses, that would be wonderful.
Where's that at? Where do we do that?
I would just say contact me directly, Blake Rizzo 24 on Twitter, or Tour to Crypto on Twitter. And just reach out to us through, a direct message or something like that.
Cool. All right.
Very cool. Well, guys, I think this is about the end of the show. I think it's the time where Junior does his little spiel and thanks our sponsors. And, we've already thanked our guests, and everyone knows where to follow them. And, Junior, you want to go ahead and lead us out of this thing?
Yeah, I want to do that. And instead of reaching out to you, Blake, on Twitter, I'm just going to go ahead and pledge 1 Litecoin on behalf of each of us hosts here. So 3 Litecoin from us to you guys.
Wow.
We're just starting out here. So
Thank you.
but we want to encourage and support you guys, and we hope all of our listeners would do the same. So that's from us.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I really do.
My pleasure, our pleasure on behalf of all of us, and for all of us here at This Is the Show. Please remember, we are sponsored by that delicious Huddle Fuel coffee. It's the good stuff, the best stuff, the only stuff you should be putting in your cup every day. And of course, To The Moon Events.io weekend in Tybee Island, December 7th through the 9th. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, that Bit Ninja Supply, where you can get all of your This Is the Show gear, as well as stock up on Tour to Crypto, and have all of that money get donated to you guys. And it's really great to have you guys on, and all know that we have the same sponsors here. So we really appreciate it. And we thank all of you for listening, and for you guys for pushing that crypto out there. Hopefully we can meet up one day, all live and in person.
Yeah.
And talk about all of these experiences. So, and then now is when I turn it over to Mr. Yuki.
Well, this is usually the part of the show where I ask everyone to say goodbye, and I think I'll do that right now. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
everybody.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.